in a very bizarre way, it galvanised our organisation because, to be really clear, it was a big crisis that we had to deal with. And I think we dealt with the problem pretty quickly. I think we communicated to all of our customers in terms of what we would offer. What we've tried to do is to recognise the fact that customers, about a third of our customers in fact were disrupted, severely disrupted for a day, and for the loss of that service we then offered effectively 3 days service back plus a voucher. So what we tried to do was to go over and above the challenges that we had caused. I think we communicated well with that community. We're by no means out of the woods, so that was only 2 weeks ago. There are lots of conversations that we're still having, particularly with business customers, because businesses would have been affected in a different way. So those conversations continue. I think the key thing for us is that we've got to be very open and honest with our customers and very clear about what we can do and what we can't do. I think the social media approach that we took was quite innovative. It was quite quirky for a big brand like O2's. I think we got some positive sentiment back. So I would say that from a situation which was a crisis, and certainly on that Thursday morning, it was not the sort of morning that I would ever want to be involved in again, I would say we got to a position that probably we got to a neutral, if not slightly positive in terms of how we communicated with our customers. So we got through it and we're getting through it. And our expectation is that that won't happen again, given the deep root cause analysis that we've been through and the contingency plans that we're now putting in place. Yeah, so we've been through, probably over the last 7 months now, various phases of a campaign around flexible working. We did a big trial in February, where we effectively emptied these offices, which accommodates about 2,500 people. And since then we've gone on to phase 2, where effectively every department within this building allows its employees to work from home or anywhere else 1 day a week. Clearly now all of that efforts that we've put in are now going to be put into place next week, because we know there's going to be restricted access to this headquarters. And therefore we've communicated with all of our staff in this building and advised them and encouraged them not to come into the office next week, and in fact even the following week, because there is kayaking and canoeing down at Dorney Lake as well. The knock-on impact of that is that we've actually demonstrated, I think, to the outside world that we've been able to do it and able to do it successfully, and actually we've got the numbers to prove it in terms of the impact. And one of the things that's come out very powerfully for me is that over a third of employees felt that they were significantly more productive than when they were in the office. So that would be the one sort of piece of information that I would take out from the whole survey. Clearly what we've done as well is we've communicated to our customers and shared the information with them, so actually they're very keen to understand how we can help them. So these are enterprise customers and small and medium businesses. So I think it starts to become cultural. I think it's getting close to that for us in terms of being quite cultural. And I think it's a way of working. So, I personally believe that presenteeism is a thing of the past. And I think people, particularly when times are tough, who feel that they have to come into the office to be seen for however many hours, I think organisations are completely missing the trick if they think that's the way forward. I think you've got to trust your staff. What we found was that when we actually trusted our staff, the time that they saved on the commute, which was about an hour and a half each day, over 50% of our employees used that time and actually gave it back to the business. So, I think there's lots of evidence there, but we're on a journey. We're well on that journey, mind you. We've got proof points now to say that we're actually doing it, we're delivering it, and we're probably leading the way, I would say, in this one. And we're more than happy to reach out to all of our customers, small businesses, large businesses, to help them actually go on this journey as well. One of the things that we didn't do when we looked at this particular approach was the cost. We didn't look at this as a cost exercise. We looked at it as an efficiency drive, a way that you could drive better efficiencies for employees, and actually a cultural thing. But the reality in the UK is that each office costs on average £7,000 per annum. So of course when you talk about flexible working, customers are very interested in what options they might have around being able to close down buildings or offices and it gives them optionality then around how they can run their business more efficiently. So I think they've got lots of concerns. They've got concerns around cash, they've got concerns over the banks not lending to them. They feel a responsibility, as SMEs always do, has been the segment to actually take any economy out of a recession. So that's quite interesting, I think. So I think there's a real resilience within that community. They don't have time, so it's a challenge for us as a technology company, if you want to call it that, for us to be able to explain what the technology can do in a very simple way, so that they can get it straight away. Because they don't have the time to go through the evaluation of this. They're too busy running their business. I think when we look at SMBs, actually there's about 5, if not more, segments within SMB for us. So there's the Soho, or the sole trader, who tend to shop in a different place, who tend to have different level of expectation and different needs. As you go further up the category of SME and start to get into maybe 20 to 50 employees, actually these businesses see themselves as what we would call corporate organisations. And then probably above 50, they see themselves as a large business. So I think you've got to adopt to be able to talk their language and to be able to deliver to their needs. So in the first instance, if you look at the small end of SME, O2 have very clearly focused on the high street and the online space as a means of being able to communicate and interact with that segment. So in the online space, for example, we've just created an all-in proposition, which is a threefold bundle proposition that small businesses can access, where you can get your fixed, your broadband and your mobile in one proposition, on one bill, with one supplier, so it alleviates the need for multiple suppliers into your business. And on the high street, we've really equipped our retail stores with gurus in every one of our stores, so that actually SMEs, when they have got maybe some downtime on a Saturday, and they're going in there and they don't really understand the technology, don't understand what the art of the possible is, that we've got gurus in store that are more than happy to help them. And of course that's a service that's free of charge, whether you're an O2 customer or a non-O2 customer. So we want our stores, and we want, as a business, to be accessible to that particular community, so they're not fearful of us always trying to sell them something. The reason why we launched Priority Moments, clearly Priority has been a huge success for us over about an 18-month period now, 2-year period. We started with priority ticketing. We created academies where O2 customers could get preferential rights to tickets over non-O2 customers, and actually we've sold out events at the O2 just for O2 customers. We moved that on a step then, and we've created Priority Moments, which up until now has been available to maybe the top 300 brands in the country. And we've got millions of our customers who have downloaded that app and are using that. And in the current times, it genuinely does give them something for nothing for being an O2 customer. Hugely successful. We've then taken it on to Priority Moments Sports, which again is very relevant to the current time, but also conscious that these are things that our customers want in terms of the latest and greatest best offers from Nike, which is the partnership that we've created there. And then Priority Moments Local, for me, is a demonstration of how we can really help British business. So we're enabling the corner shop or any business that's got a location on any high street in the UK the ability to be able to compete with those bigger brands and effectively make it really easy for them to download a moment or an offer that they can create themselves through a process that only takes 3 minutes. And lo and behold, they've got access to all of the O2 customers on that high street, which is roughly about a third of the UK population. It's completely free, so there are no catches. It's a process, as I say, that takes three minutes, and then it gets validated within 24 hours. And at that point, then that butcher or that hairdresser or baker or whatever is up and running with free marketing. So we've spent a lot of time and effort just understanding small business, and they don't have any time. But also one of the areas where they struggle a lot with is marketing. And I do believe that that's something that O2 can really help small businesses with. So we're galvanising our business around that as well, because priority is a big theme for us across both consumer and business. And this really gives, I think, small businesses the opportunity to market their capability and their uniqueness, and actually, emotionally engage with the community. So for those smaller towns, in the UK, actually the success of priority moments for one shop or one location can actually galvanise the whole high street and the community, and make it a destination point for people to travel in from outside of the town. So actually there's an overall quite a big net sum gain there, I think, for the UK.